Good evening, folks. I am Joe Bachman, and this is Behind the Code. Um, bringing this back on Tuesday nights as a limited run. Um, Gonna be doing the revamp of the Indie City site during this, and hopefully be able to get all this done within a few weeks. There won't be a show next week because I do have Parks Board meeting. Um, but I did want to get back into the swing of trying to do this show on a regular basis. And so, yeah. Um, what was that? Oh, um, I forgot. The audio for OBS will still come through for me. It won't come through for you guys. Um, we got Dawn over on Kick. Let's see if we get through the comments here real quick. We got Dan Hollifield joining us tonight. Good evening, Dan. And we are playing the music of Mr. Dan Hollifield. We'll be doing what did I start off with? I got Highly Energetic Particle Boogie going right now, which I believe is from the Displaced Detective Suite, I think. Yeah, that should be Displaced Detective Suite. And we've got Bladed Thesis here with us. Good evening, Bladed. And of course, Dawn over on Kick. And Dan saying, I hear music, but I see no picture. Let me know if you can see me now, Dan. I guess. And Dawn says, just finished Ricky's Fav stream, and boom, there was Joey. Yep. Yeah, that's why I picked 7 p.m. I know his Fav stream runs until about 6:30, 7 o'clock, so wanted to make sure you don't see me. That's interesting. I'm going to pull up my own stream real quick because I am here on StreamYard. Oh, wow. Yeah, there is nothing. If I add the second screen here. Okay, so it's just not wanting to see my... Okay, let's do this. We're going to do this, and we're going to do... Where the heck did that go? Stop that. And... Yep, still not there. That's fine. No, you're good, Dawn. I'm gonna just do a quick reset of my browser. I'm gonna kill off OBS, and we will be right back. Actually, let's do this. There should be something that I can play. This looks like a good one.
Hey there, everyone. This is Donna Carlene. Want some romance mixed in with a dead body or more? Then you enjoy my Hunter's Ridge series. Set in a small town in Alabama, it's the story of Northern Rider computer tech Carly Simone and the love of her life, Captain B.J. Martin of the Hunters Ridge PD. But life in a small town is not all roses and beer, as Carly's expertise in true-life crime-telling makes her the Hunters Ridge murder expert. And then there's nowhere to go dancing except the Dixie with its country music. But Rapper Carly can adjust, can't she?
All right, now let's see if I'm on here. Hey, now I'm back. So it's an issue with trying to use OBS and StreamYard at the same time. So we will just do it this way. Let me pull this over here. And we've got Dreamweaver up there. And we'll just share the screen like so. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. All right. So let's get back into the music here. All right. Now we're cooking with fire. There's that down. All right. So we are good. Get that out of my way so I can see what I'm doing. All right. So we're going to finish up Taylor's. We're going to finish up Taylor's thing here. I don't know if I need the class there yet. I need to open up her old page. And NBCD, where are you at? Oh, nope, not the NBCD folder. I need my external drive. There we are. There she is. Okay. We're getting there, folks. Okay, so we need a thing for her website. And I'm going to see if I can do this. Do that. StreamYard up here. Minimize that. Pull up comments. That'll work. All right. All right. So we can see me. The music's going. Ads are working. Got Pro Pool over on Kick. Good evening, Pro Pool. Hope you're well played, bud. And now that I know where I am at here, somewhat, let's go with this. Equal on line. No. Oh, that was for. That doesn't go into that. Try this again. All right, it's going to be an H2 with the class onto line. And let's go with website. Pull up her website. Oh, she doesn't have a website anymore. Okay. Pro saying music's a little loud, my voice is a little low. Yeah, it's probably a bit of both. Let me lower the music a little bit down to a 20. And while I am over here, so I'm also kind of looking away when I look over to this screen from the microphone. But let me go in here, I think. Make that full screen real quick. I need to go here. Maybe, hopefully, probably not. Let's see. Settings. Let's see. That's not what I want. Let me pull up. The so click your channel, customize channel. Let's see, customize. Basic info, both name and handle here. Okay, so I do have my name there. So I need to figure out how to get YouTube to quit showing the handles and go back to the display names. So I'll work with that later, because apparently that's just how to set it up. Alright, so back to what I was doing here. Let's get back into the comments. And we have Kitty here this evening. Good evening, Kitty. Blade saying hello to Kitty. And Dan says, I got to see Taylor Sunday night when we took Mom for Thanksgiving dinner. Nice! Okay, so I'm going to leave both of those off. So we're going to rename that heading as, what do we want to name that as? Image portfolio. I think that would be a good description. And we've got Pro Pool saying hello to Kitty. Let's see here. Let's go back. Now I need the Indie CD folder open. Let's move these. I need to copy those into another folder. Images, creators, Taylor. Oh, they're already there. Oh, so I'm ahead of the game. Ooh, what a thunk it. Alright. And Dawn's back over on Kick. She's keeping her eye on him. Sorry, Pro Pool, there won't be any ankles. I know that's a disappointment. If that is a deal breaker, I totally understand. So, you know what, let's do it this way. Let's insert image. We're just going to nest it. And Taylor. Ooh, that's a big image. Let's size you down. Size you down the proper way. So 1500. Oh, that's still wide. Let's see. 1000? 1000 works. Why did you nest there? You know what? Take that out. Put that there. There we go. And Pro saying, darn it, a man can hope. Till Dawn shows up. And Dawn says, never hurts to ask or hope. Exactly. The answer is always no unless you ask. Let's see, let's put the alt ID in here. Alright, now we do image after. At the storyboard. Where we put that at 1,000. There we go. And let's do smart money would be to just copy that part so that part can be pasted right there. And Dawn is claiming to be innocent. We all know that is yeah. We'll just say, sure, Dawn, you're innocent. Dan says, boys. Purple says easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. This is true most times. And Dan says she's inherited my mom's beauty. Blade says she is not innocent. She's a chaos agent. Alright, let me... Oh, here I go back fighting with this thing. Image. After. No, it's going to put it after the dev. I don't want it after the dev. You know what? Screw it. I'll do this. Line that up there. I don't know why you came out of your little spot. There. All right, now. Back here. Paragraph after. Haha. Put that out. Bring that down. Image, nest. Perfect. Except I want it down here. And drop that to 1,000. And paste that. What? Really? Copy. Paste that. There we go. Oi! Don says, what? Purple saying, why do computers have a mind of their own? Because they want to. Don saying, because of AI, we did it to ourselves. So, funny you should mention that, Don. My buddy Tony and I were kind of having an AI discussion earlier, and, coming to realize that, we've had, it's kind of like cloning dinosaurs. We've had several movies as to why that's a bad idea. We've also had several movies as to why AI is a bad idea. See Skynet as prime example. So, Pro saying you used to use Dreamweaver years ago. Yep. I I used to use Microsoft Front Page. That was uh, my go-to thing. And now, I mean, Front Page has been out of publication for ages now, but it's I ended up breaking down and going with Dreamweaver as much as I really didn't want to. I kind of had to. And Carl's here with us. Good evening, Carl. First thing now, I just use Notepad++. I've used Notepad++ for doing coding before. For when I was learning. God, I think I've used it for Python. I think I used it for Kotlin at one point before I just decided to use Android Studio. But I've used Notepad++. That is a good app to use. I just like with this I can see everything as I'm doing it, so. And Dan's greeting Carl. I think we all need a link to your post where you explain how to switch back to our nicknames instead of the handles. So that's actually what I just read, and it basically only tells you how to make sure you have both listed. I'm thinking it's something with YouTube because I went to my channel and Joe Bachman is still listed there, and so is my handle, which the handle is what gives you your YouTube name, essentially. So I'm gonna do some, let me do a little deep dive here for a second. Let's see. Hmm. All right. Let's see. It's Oh, okay. Inside the StreamYard broadcast studio. Look at comments. Let's see here. Da-da-da. Settings. General. Huh. Okay, so from what I'm finding online, basically what has happened, it's not a StreamYard thing. This is actually a YouTube thing. So we're just gonna do this real quick. YouTube recently pushed an update that switched everything back to doing the handles, which is what we're seeing. It is still also sending the display name. It's just YouTube decided to make the handle be the thing, the default thing. StreamYard is working on a fix to where you can go in, change a setting, and it'll then show display names in here. Now, in the actual YouTube chat, I'm assuming it would still show handles as everybody's chatting back and forth, but at least when we click on something, it would now just say Dan Hollifield instead of at Dan Hollifield. But apparently that's something that hasn't rolled out to everybody yet. They must be testing it, because it sounds like it's basically having to grab something from the YouTube API to work properly. So yeah, more on that to come. Alright, let's see here. Let's catch up on these comments real quick. We got Carl saying he'll look it up and post it again. Dan thanking him. And we have Donna here tonight. Good evening, Donna. Had to use your ad a little bit ago so I could fix a camera issue. And we got greetings to Donna from Dan. Pro says, unless I'm doing specific coding, then I use specific editors for SDKs. Yeah. Carl says, wow, okay, that was how one guy did it, so I looked at mine and it was okay. Dan says, I use Composer for my HTML myself. Nice. Typoed. Composer. Carl says, so it could be StreamYard, that could be tested. Later I could do a live using OBS only and see if Donna's name shows up correctly. Yeah, your guys' name still, because I have, when I did this stream earlier, or was it earlier this week, last weekend, something, I don't know. My days are all blending ever since doing that midnight shift, Saturday night. But I know the last time I did an OBS stream, it was showing your guys' handles instead of the display names. Blade says, I think the handles look dumb, but YouTube has decreed, so it's what we have to deal with, pretty much. He also goes on to say, I think I used regular Notepad when I did HTML back in the day. Yeah, that's what I started on, was just regular old Notepad. Once I joined the web design, we started the web design class at the high school. We used Microsoft Front Page. But yeah, Notepad, Windows Notepad is where I got my start. And Donna says, thanks for using my ad. I hope it helped. Yes, it did. Gave me enough time to exit and come back in. Alright, so let's go paragraph after. And we're going to do that. Insert an image, nested. And holy cow. It's a wide image. There we go. Alright, so we got her image portfolio up there. And we're going to copy this part again so that I can just paste that right in here. And boom, Taylor is complete. Yay, I've got my first first thing done here. Let's see here. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, how do I link Mike Jimmy's? Let's just copy his, then I can paste and back this part out and do Taylor Evans. And then break the link to her image. What? Okay, code view. Why don't I just break? Oh, it just took the image out. Because that makes sense. Alright, image. Oh, screw it. Undo. There we go. We'll do it like this. Haha. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. Boom. Done. Save. Let's go ahead and synchronize. We'll put newer files to remote. And let's see, Dawn saying you had internet at your school? I think one computer had it in the library. Yep, we did have internet. I actually had to, due to our lovely school filter, I would occasionally have to remote into my home PC so that I could look up stuff on the New York Times website for current events for my government and econ class my senior year, because there every once in a while would be a word on their front page that would trigger it. So I'd have to remote into my home PC, pull up New York Times, find an article that I wanted to talk about, copy and paste the text of the article into an email, and then email that to myself so that I could then print it off. Blade says, "Oh, Joe, I need you, Trey, and Rich check your Facebook Messenger. I've asked a question about this weekend's show for my patrons." Yep, I did see that. I just haven't had a chance to actually look at it, because even though I've been on vacation this week, I haven't really been on vacation this week. And it says, gave me enough time to exit and come back in. That's what she said. Hey, when you just have to get the tip out and back in, it goes quick. Blade says, I had internet at school starting in 8th grade. We had, what was it we had? I don't know what we had at Wanata. Actually, I don't even know if we had internet at Wanata, to be honest. But at lacrosse at the high school, I think we had a T1 connection at the school. Carl says, I use Notepad too. I first learned by saving someone else's code to my computer, then altered a few things, then looked at what changed. That's when I got a book on HTML. Nice. So, the way I got into HTML, and this is going back to, God, it had to be 2000, 2001. I was a member of a website that they had a lot of security challenges, and that's how you gained rank on their website. And the first one was you had to put in the correct 3-digit code, and you only had 3 tries. And you basically, what you did was you had to pour through the source code, which they added. I printed it out, and I think it was like, I don't know, 13 pages of code. And they just added so much fluff code to it. But you had to go through and find you had to find the JavaScript. So I learned HTML and JavaScript kind of at the same time. You had to find the JavaScript, and inside that, there was a comment of, here's the equation you use to get your 3-digit code, and then below that was the randomly generated number that you put into that equation. And once you worked out the 3-digit code, it was just a matter of guessing what 3 digits went where. So yeah, that was how I got into it. Dan says famous last words, yeah. And Don saying, wait, you had internet at home when you were in high school? Yep. I am that young, Don. There was even cable internet when I was doing that. Carl says we didn't have internet back in the Stone Age when I was in school. We didn't have any web access until the 90s, I think. 1994, that is. I got to see the comet hit Jupiter live. Nice. Dan says I didn't get internet until 1995, but I know it was available earlier. Yeah. I knew a guy online. This is back regarding this website I used to belong to. He was down in Florida. He had dual ISDN modems running, I think it was. Carl says, Joe, your search for the 3-digit code sounds like some puzzle geocaches I had to do. Yep. I remember when we were first married, the Witzman dude showed me how to code a checkbook thingy on the Commodore. Nice. But it says we had computers in the elementary school, but it only played Oregon Trail. Yeah. Oregon Trail, Math Blasters. There are a few others. And Blade says asking how Trey's feeling, by the way. Very tired today. She actually called off work today, so and our boss told her, just stay home today and tomorrow, rest, through the weekend. So she is done with her antibiotics, but I think it's just, she's tired and it's kind of kicking her ass a little bit. And Don says, I'm just teasing a bit. I blame Pro. He started on the Favs. Okay. We are 40 minutes in, so I'm going to run a quick ad or two, and we will be back here in just a few minutes.
Alexis, and this is my tea house. Come join me every Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time as we discuss Chinese culture, history, philosophy, and of course, martial arts. You can find me at youtube.com/BLADEDTH3SIS. Pull up a chair, grab a cup of tea, or the drink of your choice, and join the discussion.
And something I just realized, and I'm gonna apologize for this now, because I'm gonna have to redo a bunch of my ads. Um, so, well, maybe not. I I'm gonna play with this. I don't know if it'll work or not. But you can see here, kind of see here on the side, we got all the different folders for the creators, and inside those folders, we're gonna have a find one that's already here. So we got Mike Jimmy. So you've got, you know, his where the hell is it? Oh, hope I'm not under images. Members. There we go. So you got Mike, Jimmy, Taylor. So everybody's the links to their pages will be indiecd.org/members/ Taylor Evans, Mike Jimmy yada yada yada, ending in .html. I'm going to try to set up where I'm going to have a whole bunch of folders on here that'll be kind of like the old WordPress way of about Dan Hollifield, about Carl Witzman, and throw a redirect page in there that should redirect everybody, redirect the people to the correct page. Again, that is my hope. I know it's possible. I just have to figure out how to do it again. I haven't done a redirect in years. But that way, hopefully people won't have to redo their commercials, their ads, and their links and all that stuff. Because I'll be honest, I really don't want to have to redo the QR codes. So Carl's saying portray. Let me get the music back going here. We're going to switch it over to track number 5 from Never Bank on a Learning Curve. WTF, Rednecks Can't Groove. And Blade says, hey, look, it's me. And Sarah's here. Good evening, Sarah. She's saying hi, listening. Blade says, I still need to make an ad for the fall season, but this year has been kicking my arse. That's understandable. And Carl says, oh, that's good. Otherwise, I'd have to redo some business cards and QR codes. Yeah, I would have to redo the wood-burned QR codes I've done for everybody. I really don't want to do that. And Don saying super hugs and pinky wiggles to Trey. Donna's greeting Sarah. Carl's greeting Sarah. So let's get into... I want to pull up his code so I can see how I start this off again. And now we need a new IndieCD templated page. Boom. So we start with the div, this class. And then after that, we've got the H1. This. And who are we going to do next? You know what? We're just going to start working down the list here. Or no, I'm going to go to my next category page. So, artists. So Dimitri is going to be up next. And we're going to be working out of Dimitri's page. There we go. We got Bladed greeting Sarah. It's been a while since I've seen my own ad. And Sarah saying, "Hey fam, grinding some necessary work along." Okay. Carl says Dimitri beats me to the punch again. If you know, you know. And let's see here. So after the H1, go to Dimitri's folder here. And what I set Mike Jimmy's at 400. So I'm going to switch that to 400. And Dimitri Walker, artist. CD, directory. Go. And we're going to go image, paragraph after. Okay, that's where I was going wrong with that before. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, let's go back here to Dimitri. That's not the folder I wanted. Dimitri, there we go. Boom. Scroll down a bit. Copy this in to here, which is going to throw everything all types of ways off. That is okay. Put that there. Do a line break here. Line break here. Line break here. And last but not least, oh, I don't need a line break there. But we're not going to do line breaks. We are going to do full on paragraphs. There we go. That looks better. That looks a lot better. Alright. We're going to save what we have so far. Under members. This is going to be Dimitri. Oops. Dimitri / Walker. Save. Now we're going to do an image after. Actually, no. How did I do that? Oh, darn it. Go back here. Go back to... That's right. I did each one as its own independent paragraph. All right. So, I'll go back in here, insert a paragraph after. There we go. Highlight that. Erase it. Image. Nest. There we go. And we're going 1,000 before, so we're going to leave these at 960. So paragraph after. Finish this. Nope. Paragraph after. There we go. Erase it from live view. I'll get this down eventually, folks. Not like I haven't been working on this for a little while now. Alt 2, that'll work. Paragraph after. Erase, image, nest. That one in. Erase the extra space. Paragraph after. Erase from here. Image, nest. Erase that. Paragraph. Nope. Paragraph after. Erase. Erase. Image, nest, and number 5. Boom. All right. So, we're going to do Dimitri Walker, artist, CD, independent creator directory. And we're going to copy this part here so that I can paste and paste and paste and paste. Because copy and paste is your friend, kids. Let's see, getting a little behind on the comments here. Don says, but do you bubble better than him? And Blade asks, are we doing a show tomorrow? Yeah, we can do a show tomorrow. I know Dawn won't be with us. Trey most likely will not be with us. And I know Rich will be there. Rich said he would show up. So yeah, let's go ahead and do one tomorrow. Why not? Carl says apparently not. Going back to Dawn's question. And Carl says, I mean the bubbling, not the show. And Sarah's saying, I appreciate you in the background. Thank you. Blade says, what's really funny is I still have the code for the first website I ever built. It was in 2001, 2002, so it's sad and basic, but damn it, I still love it. Don saying, I'm going to take that off since we are getting up at butt crack of me Thursday. I may be in the audience, and as Carl just said, understood. Totally get that. Let's go back here. We're going to add another paragraph here. We're going to do an H2 with website. And then add in another paragraph. here so this all updates. And now we're going to say, let's see, looking for more art from Dimitri, including notebooks, original. Why am I doing this the hard way? Copy that part to paste in there, because that makes life easier. And we're going to throw a BR in there so that we can get another line and go check out paintings by Dimitri. And we're going to go and make sure his website link is still working, and it is. That's good. We're going to copy the link, come back in here, and maybe highlight this. Go boom. And we need to give that a class of links, so that way the little line doesn't show up there. And we got Dimitri done. Nice. All right. Carl says, great thesis. I think I burned some of my HTML onto CDs. Nice. Blade says, I think mine is on a computer sticky thingy. And Don says, ooh, I was sent a good deal on glasses. I can get 2 pairs for $200. Yes, progressive for blind people. Do I or don't I? Ugh. 2 pairs for $200. If that's including, if that's frames and lenses, especially being progressives, yeah, jump on that, because that's a steal. And Carl says, that was fast, Joe. Templates help, huh? Yes, they do. And Carl says, that's a great price, Don. Yeah. Yeah, templates do help greatly. What I need to do, what I probably should do, I might, you know, let me... You know what, we're going to do File, New, NDCD template. We're going to copy the first part of this. Paste it in. And we're going to change this to... Oh, I need to add my... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Add my ending div. Make that happy. So what I'm going to do is we're going to say, hi, I'm enter member name here. And we're going to, I wonder, do I still have, did it download? It should have downloaded at least. God, where would it have put that on the site? In the folders. Donations. My account. This video, it's gotta be the includes. Nope. WP content. There we go. Uploads. this should have my image. Yep, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. Copy that. We're going to throw this in images. This is a standard image. We're not going to throw it in a folder of any kind. But we're going to replace that with this. And then create a new paragraph here, which doesn't have any special class to it. And just put in enter member bio here. So that will give me the basic layout. I feel like that does have a class. It does. So I need to go back and copy and put this in to each of these on his. There we go. Oh, that looks much better. Okay. So we're going to just save Dimitri's. And I need to go back to Taylor's real quick, because I don't think I did that to Taylor's. Oh, I did do that to Taylor's. Okay. Alright, cool. So now we have this, which we are going to save that to the members folder as member templates. Save. Boom. Nice. That'll make that even easier. Alright. So, who do I have up next? EMP. Let's see. Electromagnetic press. This up. And Carl says I could not have run our computer club website / online newsletter if I didn't use templates every month. Yeah. And Don says, and I just found another $15 off. Yeah, that, like Bladey just said, that's a hell of a deal. I would definitely, if you've ordered glasses from there before and you know they're, good glasses, go for it. I think that'd be a really good thing. And Carl asks, is that Warby Parker or your regular eye doctor? I got some kind of discount email from All About Eyes. Maybe I ought to read it. We're an hour in. We're going to pause the music for a minute. We're going to play a couple of ads so I can grab something to drink. And we will be back in just a few minutes. to track number 4 of the Second Helping album with Vortex Manipulator. And Don says, I jumped on it. They're through Zenny. Yep. Okay, Zenny's a good one. Now I'll have 4 pairs to flip through. That's good. And Bladed says Zenny's a good site. Yes. And Carl says it's good to have a spare just in case. It is. And Sarah says, I'm working on it. Dark misses. All right. So, you know what? Before I do anything else, we are going to update this to members Dimitri. And since we already have Mike Jimmy done, we are going to update this to /members Mike Jimmy. There we go. Alright, member template. Let's actually save that real quick. So from here, we'll do save as. And theirs is going to be just really simple. EMP. Oh, that's going to make life so much better now. And Donna says, okay, Dark Mistress. Dan says, I need to get a new pair of glasses soon. Lynn is going to need cataract surgery before too long. Oh, no. And Don says, sorry about spamming with my shopping conundrum, and thank you for the feedback. No, not a problem. And Houston, Texas, Dave is with us. Good evening, Dave. Dave is saying howdy, everybody. All right. So, who did I say we had up next? EMP. That's right. So let me get their profile brought up, their old profile brought up here. And this is, hi, we are Electromagnetic Press. And we can copy this into here. And then we can switch this. Creators. EMP logo. Let's do 650. We'll do 400 still. Okay. Alright, so we got that in there. And this is actually going to be a really simple one also. I like simple. Simple makes things simple. And actually, we don't need that. But we do need an H2 here for conventions. And then we'll do a new paragraph with the class of font size. And go want to know where you can find us this year. Check out our conventions page here. And let's make sure that link is still working. It is not. So do they still have? Doesn't look like it. They just have their store. Okay, so they got rid of the conventions. But we do have the EMP web store. And we can change this to say, looking for a new comic or graphic novel to read. Check out our web store. Copy that. And put in the link. Give the link a class of links. And they're done. And Dan says, I'll need the cataract surgery too in 5 or so years. Ooh. And Carl and Donna are both greeting Dave. Donna says, I'm afraid I'm spoiled with my magnetic clip-on sunglasses. And Dave says, website updating, HTML, CSS style sheets, and hyperlinks. Yep. And Dawn saying greetings to those she's missed. Alright, so we got EMP done. Let's go back here. And make that /members EMP. We've already done Mike Jimmy. Oh, this is going to be the long one. So this may be the last one of the evening after I get it done. Close out those two. Go ahead and save that. And we're going to save as. And we're going to come back over here. And see how I had his listed. Yep, Nicholas Tockert. That's what I thought. Nicholas Tockert. Save. Oh, this is going to be the long one. And oh, you know what? I just realized something. I gotta reopen EMP's page, which I will do here in a minute. No, why are you not linked? There we go. So artist, author, game designer, streamer. Probably several other things that I'm forgetting, but that's okay. I can always update that later. Let's see, EMP. Electromagnetic press. EMP. There we go. Save all. And Dawn says that's what she said, and it's probably more than just a tip. Exactly. Nick never did give me a full bio, so he gets the default of I am an author, artist, streamer, game designer, and convention host. insert paragraph after. Switch this to let's see, how do I want to do this? Man, I had his page screwed up somehow. That's weird. Well, let's do this. Let's do his books first. I think that would make the most sense. Heading, nest. Books. Paragraph after, but we don't want it after that. We want it after that P block. There we go. Class, font, size, members. All right. So, Dan, you evil, evil man. You should not give me ideas like that. And we're going to do, what can I control from here? A whole lot. So CSS designer, styles, global. Dot not hyphen encrypted, and we're going to go to text, font size, extra small, class not encrypted. You know what, we're going to also make font weight 700. There we go. Let's see, Carl says Kelly G posted today a joke about how an author can write a huge novel, yet when asked for a short synopsis or bio, they freak out, right? And Don's laughing. Dan, Joe should put in there and probably a cryptid since he hasn't sent the bio. And Dan says, no, do it the way I said it, it'll be funnier. And Dan says, I never claimed to be a good old god of Appalachia, and Don is laughing. So, we're going to see if he notices that on there. So let's see, we need to insert heading nested And this is going to be, you know what? We need to change that. We're going to change that to an H3. No. Change to an H3. What are you doing? Fine. Let's do it this way. Art and Tales, Volume 1. Change it in the actual code itself. Ha! Don't want those extra spaces there. And we're going to open link a new tab. And copy. Rid of that space there. A that class links and put the /A here. Oops. There we go. And so sometimes changing the code is the only way to make something work. Yep. This, go ahead and copy that now. So we're going to have a new, oops, undo that, come back here. After the H3, I hate the way it does this. That's the way I actually wanted it. I'd put it that way. Alright, let's see here. Space that out. Nest an image. Put that there. Why are you throwing an error? Probably because I'm too far out, I'm guessing. Oh, okay. Right, that puts it all on the same line. Am I just gonna have to do two separate? I'll probably just have to do two separate herfs. Yep. Okay, that's fine. Copy that. Throw it into here. Get rid of that extra. And Art and Tales Volume 1. There goes Talkert. Author artist, game designer, streamer, and CD, independent creator directory. All right. Whew. Well, it says, I finally remembered to send that story link to Donna, Carl, and Sarah. Yay me. Nice. Carl says, good. Donna says, cool thesis. I'll look at it tomorrow. And Dan says, I'd still like some feedback on Lost Weekend so I can tell if I have the continuity right and see if the story is actually interesting so far. I will have to try and read that this weekend. Alright, let's go back here, copy this again. We're going to throw that in there and say class font size members. And because that is an ampersand, gotta list it like that. There we go. It is 8:30 already. Holy cow. And Sarah says, oh, cool. And that's the link to Lost Weekend by Dan Hollifield. All right. So we are going to paragraph after. Nice. Not image. Heading. Nest. Actually needs to be an H3. And the simple sword. Image after copy that, simple sword, and okay, that's interesting. Let's see here. Simple sword. Oh, sure. Now it's going to work that way. Paragraph after. Nope. to an H3. Carl says continuity can be difficult. I did Mad Gasser's 2 different timelines, flipping back and forth. It was 2 stories shuffled together. Yeah, I can imagine that'd make it really hard. And Carl says got it bookmarked, Dan. And Dan says still need info from Dimitri so I can flesh out the character interactions more. I must have the wrong address for him, or he doesn't use Word and can't read the copy I sent him. Let's see, we got the Fighting X. Do the link. So, and whoa. Easy on the copying there. Go class links and that. Take that out. Image nest. Fighting X. Why would you nest above? No. No. Why would you nest above? See, there you go. All right, now copy. I think this is going to be the last one I do for the night because I'm starting to get tired. Perfect. There we go. Now, under that, we have something that I'm going to copy and paste because I'm not trying to type all that out at this point. Give it a class, not of links, but of font size numbers. There we go. Save all. Files here. Let's synchronize. Put newer files to the remote section. Oh. Let's see, Dan says I didn't have it uploaded when I mailed him. And Sarah's saying, OMG, I think I'm going to make the deadline. Woot, nice! Dawn says, heading away from the computer for the evening. Have a great night, all, if I don't log back in mobilely. You have a good night too, Dawn. Carl saying, great, Sarah, and Night Dawn, safe trip. Sarah saying, so excited as for the day walker, sweet dreams. And Dawn saying, thank you, hoping the weather cooperates. Yeah, it's not looking good depending on where you're at. It's really not. They are calling for snow in our area this weekend. And Dawn says I should probably pack tomorrow since we're leaving early Thursday. That would be a very wise choice. And Dan saying goodnight to Dawn. So we are going to go ahead and close this out for the night. And with that, folks, we will be back. We'll be back tomorrow night for Indie CD's Creatives That Play. There will not be a Behind the Code next week. I do have the Parks Board meeting next week. But I feel pretty good about what I accomplished so far tonight. I know Nick is going to be one of the longer pages I have to do. Cindy Kep will be another one that's going to take a while. I've only got maybe 5 or 6 that are going to be tons of things. So, I think it'll, once I get through some of those other ones, the rest of this is going to go pretty quickly. So, with that, folks, thank you all for coming in tonight. Like I said, we will be back tomorrow night for the Creatives That Play, and I just realized I'm going to have to redo my Indie CD intro, my ad for Nick. Oh, I just love torturing myself. So, with that, folks, have a great evening, and we'll see you soon.